Have you ever wondered why some people seem to make extraordinary progress in life, while others remain stuck in the same place year after year, despite having similar talents and opportunities? What's the secret of those who manage to completely transform their health, career, or relationships, seemingly without heroic efforts or drastic changes? Welcome to Prism Perspective. Today we'll explore one of the most powerful principles for personal growth and success, the compound effect. In this video, you'll learn how small daily actions, repeated consistently, create extraordinary results over time, how to overcome the all-or-nothing illusion that sabotages most of your change efforts, and how to design a system of micro-habits that makes your success inevitable. These perspectives aren't just theoretical concepts. They're practical tools that have helped countless people transform their lives through the power of small changes accumulated over time. Perspective 1. The magic of consistency. The first perspective requires understanding that extraordinary results rarely come from extraordinary actions, but almost always from ordinary actions repeated every day for an extraordinary period. Imagine having two options: receive $3 million today in a single payment, or receive 1 penny today, but with the amount doubling every day for 30 days. Most people would choose the immediate $3 million, but surprisingly, the single penny that doubles every day would be worth over $5 million by day 30. That's the power of the compound effect. Warren Buffett, the world's most successful investors, accumulated 99% of his fortune after the age of 50. Not through risky speculations or lucky breaks, but through solid and consistent investment decisions repeated for decades. "My wealth is the result of a lifetime of compounded decisions," Buffett said. "It's like rolling a very small snowball from the top of a very long mountain." When you understand the compound effect, you ask different questions. What small actions can I take every day that, accumulated over time, will take me where I want to go? How can I make these actions so easy and natural that they require almost no willpower? How can I measure and celebrate the micro progress I'm making? In 2008, Andy Frisella, a successful entrepreneur and podcaster, started his nutritional supplement business selling only $7 worth of products on the first day. But by continuing to take small daily actions, serving one customer at a time, constantly improving products, and slowly building his reputation, he transformed those saved dollars into a business worth over $200 million. Practical exercise. Identify an area of your life where you want to see significant change. Now, instead of thinking about a drastic action, define an action so small that it would be almost impossible not to do it every day. It could be reading 1 page of a book, doing 5 minutes of exercise, or saving $1. Commit to taking this micro action every day for the next 2 weeks. Perspective 2. The law of delayed gratification. The second perspective requires understanding that there's a natural delay between the actions we take and the results we get. This delay is what discourages most people. We plant today but don't see the fruits immediately, and so we give up, often just when we're about to see results. Imagine planting a Chinese bamboo tree. For the first 5 years, despite constant care, watering, and fertilizing, you'll see very little sign of growth above ground. You might even doubt that the seed is viable, but what you don't see is that a vast root system is developing underground. Then, almost suddenly in the 5th year, the bamboo grows over 80 feet in just 6 weeks. Most significant changes in life follow this pattern. There's a period of seemingly resultless work, followed by growth that appears almost miraculous to outside observers. James Clear, author of the bestseller Atomic Habits, describes it this way: "The results of habits are delayed while the costs are immediate." Ed Sheeran, one of the world's best-selling music artists, spent years playing in small venues and releasing music for free online, often to tiny audiences. He played over 300 concerts in a single year long before he became famous. But each performance, each song, each interaction with fans was building the foundation for his future success. When his breakthrough finally came, it seemed sudden to the outside world, but it was the result of thousands of hours of practice and dedication. When you understand the law of delayed gratification, you can anticipate and accept the initial desert where you work without seeing immediate results. Create measurement systems that highlight the micro progress you're making. Focus on the process instead of the results, finding satisfaction in the action itself. Practical exercise. For a goal you've set, create a process journal where you record not the results but the actions you take each day. For example, if you're trying to lose weight, instead of obsessively weighing yourself, record the fact that you ate healthy foods or exercised. Celebrate the consistency of your actions, not the immediate results. Perspective 3. The power of micro-decisions. The third perspective concerns how the small decisions we make every day, often unconsciously, determine the direction of our lives. Imagine an airplane flying from Rome to New York. If the pilot changes the route by just 1 degree at the beginning of the journey and maintains that direction, the plane would end up hundreds of miles from the intended destination. Similarly, small daily decisions, what we eat for breakfast, how we react to a difficult colleague, whether we read or watch TV before sleeping, may seem insignificant in the moment, but accumulating over time, they completely determine the course of our lives. We are what we repeatedly do, said Aristotle. Excellence, therefore, is not an act but a habit. The power of the compound effect is that it works in both directions. Small positive decisions, accumulated over time, create extraordinarily positive results. But small negative decisions, repeated daily, can lead to devastating consequences. S. Walton, one of the richest women in the world and heir to the Walmart empire, tells how her father, Sam Walton, despite his immense wealth, maintained habits of frugality and consistent work. He still drove the same old pickup truck, rose at dawn to work, and took notes in a simple notebook. These micro habits, practiced for decades, not only contributed to his success but also shaped the DNA of the company he created. When you understand the power of micro decisions, you can pay more attention to the small daily choices that seem insignificant. Design your environment to make positive decisions easier. Recognize how each small action is taking you toward a certain future. Practical exercise. For 1 week, keep track of a specific micro decision you make daily, for example, what you eat as a snack, how much time you spend on social media, or how you react when you're stressed. After a week, multiply the impact of that decision by 52 weeks, then by 10 years. This will help you visualize the compound effect of that single, seemingly insignificant daily decision. Applying the compound effect in your life. Now that we understand the 3 perspectives of the compound effect, how can we apply them concretely in our daily lives? The first step is to carefully choose the habits you want to develop. Not all habits are equal. Some, which I call keystone habits, have a positive cascading effect on many other areas of your life. For example, improving sleep quality can enhance your energy, focus, productivity, and even your relationships. 1 extra hour of quality sleep could have a more significant compound effect than many other habits combined. The second step is to make your habits ridiculously easy at the beginning. Most people fail because they try to do too much too soon. Brian Jeffrey Fogg, a behavioral researcher at Stanford University, suggests starting with tiny habits so reduced that it would be almost impossible to fail. Want to run every day? Start with the commitment to put on your running shoes and step outside the door for 30 seconds. Kobe Bryant, basketball legend, was famous for his maniacal work ethic. But what many don't know is that this didn't happen all at once. As a young player, Bryant began by adding just 15 extra minutes of training after regular sessions. Those 15 minutes became 30, then an hour. Over time, this compounded habit transformed him into one of the most disciplined athletes in sports history. The third step is to create a tracking and accountability system. What gets measured improves. A simple habit tracker where you mark an X for each day you perform your habit can be surprisingly powerful. Practical exercise. Choose a keystone habit that, if practiced consistently, could transform an important area of your life. Now scale it down until it's so easy that you'll have no excuse not to do it. Create a system to track your consistency and a way to celebrate small successes along the way. Conclusion. As we've seen, the compound effect is probably the most powerful force for creating lasting change in your life. It doesn't require drastic changes or superhuman efforts, but rather small, consistent actions repeated over time. Remember, small changes, accumulated over time, lead to extraordinary transformations. There's always a delay between actions and results, but patience is rewarded. Daily micro-decisions determine the direction of your life. Albert Einstein defined compound interest as the 8th wonder of the world and said, "Those who understand it earn it. Those who don't, pay it." The same principle applies to every area of your life. Just as a prism transforms a single ray of light into a spectrum of brilliant colors, the compound effect can transform small daily actions into an extraordinary life. What's the small habit you've started or would like to start that could have the greatest impact on your life if practiced consistently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Prism Perspective channel for more content that will help you see life from new and powerful angles. Remember, when you change your perspective, you change your life.